Armand McArthur.
Which First Nation are you from, Armin?
President of Nakoda First Nations. Well, I guess I was born with it. I was born with the language. Although I went to residential school, but I never did. Lose my language in a kind of residential school.
And
It was always there.
everyone in your residential school spoke it?
In the residential school back, yes, I think some did, but we were forbidden. We were forbidden to speak it.
Which school did you go
I
to?
went to a Lebret called St. Paul's High in Lebret. St. Paul's High Residential School. Yeah.
Um, and so, why were you told that the language was forbidden in school?
Well, when you go back to these days, you start to realize that the assimilation process was in full swing. When we try to speak our language, we were told that we were speaking the devil's language. Because the residential schools were run by the churches. So now to them that was speaking the devil's language, and they told us that on many occasions. You can't speak the devil's language. So. And then if we were caught speaking it, then we were punished. Sometimes they'll stick a bar of soup in your mouth for speaking it. And that happened. So yeah, it wasn't a very good year. 1957, 58 was my years.
How old were you then?
I was 11 year old. 11 year old. Yeah.
How did that make you feel when they said it was the devil's language?
Well, I couldn't understand it. I didn't know what they meant by that. Because I was just a young guy, and you know. I came from my community where it was spoken, and then all of a sudden, hey, I had to readjust and try to live according to the way they wanted me to live. So I did have a hard time with it. I struggled with it.
So, in the residential schools, is that where you learned English?
Yes and no. Because when I came out of residential school, then I went to a non-First Nation school. Then I went to school on the res. That's where I also learned how to speak the language. The English language. So, yeah.
What was your experience at the residential school like?
Oh, that's something that I'll never forget. I'll never forget that. And it's there, and just like it happened yesterday. And that's something that it's pretty hard to talk about in regards to the experience that was there, the things that happened to me. I know that it's pretty hard, to I don't want to go into it at this time. But I did run away from residential school when I was 11 years old, and I didn't make it home. So
Didn't make it home.
I made it home. Yeah.
And then
I lived north of Carlisle, and Lebret is just not too far from here. And it took me about a month, I guess, maybe a month or and a half to get home. This is early spring, uh, but I got home. Yeah, when I got home there, my mother said, "Well, you're gonna go back, 'cause the priest used to come every Sunday to White Bear. I lived in White Bear that time, and they said the priest is coming on Sunday, so we're gonna send you back." So that Sunday morning, I got up extra early, and I ran away from home. I went and stayed with a friend, and then later on, my grandpa come and got me, and I lived with my grandpa. Lived with him for a while. So,
So did you walk from Lebret back
yeah,
to Carlisle?
back in 1959, the vehicles were far in between. A lot of team of horses. So I ran away twice, and first time they caught me, and just through carelessness that they let the others catch me, but the second time I made sure that no one's going to catch me this time, because the first time I took off and they brought me back, they whipped me. They whipped me so bad I couldn't sit down. Knowing that I'm going to get a whipping again, I was a little more careful on my second time, and I made it home. So, but yeah, like I said, it took me about a month, I think about a month and a half, to make it home from Lebret to north of Carlisle. Back in those days, every time I seen or heard a vehicle, I wouldn't hide. I hid in the bush. So I didn't want to get caught in the way. So,
Do you
but
think
but at nighttime, I needed to eat, so I used to go and steal from the farmers. And get by, but steal from the dog, sometimes the dog dish, but I survived, I made it home, so.
Do you think it's because you ran away from the school? That's why you've been able to keep. That's why you kept your language. Like, do you
Yes,
think
I guess I can say that in a way. But like I said, it was always with me, But like I said, like I'm forgetting it now. Like I'm starting to lose my language and too much English on a daily basis. And I try to talk to my grandchildren. I talk to my wife, and I try to get them to understand me. But they have a hard time with the words or with the wording, because it's pretty tough. Some of the words are pretty hard to say. The only way you're going to be able to learn it is it's got to be on a daily basis, repeated all the time, so identifying things. So yeah. When I started to teach Nakoda, my my uh, my philosophy was to teach in home things that we identify with, what the family identifies with. Your plates, your sugars, your cups, your forks, knives, your door, sitting down, those things, how we speak on a daily basis. So that's the philosophy I use in order to teach Nakoda today. To start from small. So the children pick it up a lot quicker than they would an adult. Really really fast. So because they got a fresh mind and their minds are open. Not like adult people. Their minds are kind of made up. But
You spoke about the importance of not forgetting the language. Can you tell us a little bit about the importance of
Yes, the importance of the language is still very vastly important. It's not only for identity purposes, but like I said, when you speak to the Creator, God, like I said, he has many different names. When you speak to Him, He has given us a language to talk to Him, a way to communicate to Him. Everything that has life has its way of communicating to the Creator. So that's become it's too important to retain our language. Say for instance now, okay, I speak English, okay, but the Creator never gave me the English language. He gave me the Nakoda language. Okay, now when I go and pray, if I pray in English, you're not going to hear what I said because He didn't give me that language to talk to Him. He gave me the Nakoda language to speak to Him. So when I speak my language to Him, then He understands what I say. Okay? That's just like the same thing with the Cree Nation. If the Crees are going to try and talk to the Creator, trying to talk with Nakoda, then you're not going to hear what they're saying. They got to use the language that they were given to by the Creator. Same thing with English. Okay? So if you are given the English language to speak, then that's the language you use to talk to the Creator with. If you try to use a different language, if you say that you're English, but you try to use but you've learned the Russian dialect, and you go try to pray to Him, He's not going to hear you. You got to use the language that was given to you in order to be. That's why it's so vastly important. Not for identity purposes only, but for a lot of things.
And when it comes to the Nakoda language, how many people are able to fluently?
Oh, geez, now today, the last time we counted, there's less than 100 fluent speakers in North America. That means Montana or the United States and Canada. Okay? Less than 100 fluent speakers. Okay? But that was what, 2 or 3 years ago, maybe longer. So the number went down. So it must be maybe 60, 70 people, maybe. And like I can speak the language pretty good, but I don't call myself fluent, because there's some words that I don't know. A lot of the words I talk about, the old words, the words that were used back in the 1800s. Today, a lot of language is slang. To make up things like for modern items, telephone, microwave. Okay? Those are all made up words today. Okay? Say if I tell mazapa, that means to hit metal. When they say that mazapa, that means they talk about the old telegraph system they had a long time ago. That's what they mean. Okay? So Again, it's a slang word, talking about a telephone. So, those are the things that I mean by it's a slang nowadays. A lot of things are slang words. So, yeah.
Did you teach your children? Did you teach your children your language?
I try to teach them, but a lot of times they say what I said inside there. That why do I gotta learn it? And a lot of times you try to you sit down with them, and you don't want to argue with your children. And that comes understanding. So I don't push it on them. So which I should be doing, but I don't want to do that. Like I said, it has to come from the heart. If you want to learn the language, any language, you want to learn any language, it got to come from the heart. That's the only way you're going to get it. If I force it on you, then it's not going to work. Say, for instance, when I went to residential school, the priest used to say, Dominus Vobiscum. I don't know what that means today. And I used to have to answer him, Ectum Spiritu. I don't know what kind of language that is. And today I still don't know what that means, But it was pounded into me. So that's what I'd want to do to my children, Like I got whacked in the head for when I made a wrong pronunciation or a misunderstanding. I got hit for that, So, that's what I'd want to do to my children is to hit them every time you make a mistake, So I don't do that. Like Dominus Vobiscum, I think that's Latin. Ectum Spiritu, I think that's Latin also. But the priest used to say that. And I used to be an altar boy, and when he said that, I used to have to answer him, Ectum Spiritu, standing beside him, as an altar boy, I got fired. One day, they have that instance, they have a little, I don't know if you guys ever seen that, but going to a Catholic church, to have that instance, they go like that, and it's got sparks in it, and I was going to go and do that to the people. So one Sunday morning, I tripped and I spilled it, and I got a licking for that. But that was the end of my altar boy career.
Do you have a favorite saying in Nakoda?
A favorite saying? A lot of times we use the word "medagrapi," my relatives, because when you say that, when you say medagrapi, that just doesn't mean my blood relative. That doesn't mean that. That means my relatives. I mean all those people out there. All my relatives. No matter if they're non-First Nation, they're still my relatives. Like you guys are still my relatives. So that's what I say. Medagrapi. Medagrapi. The animals, my relatives. Each one of them. Now, why do I say that? Why do I say these are my relatives? Why you guys are my relatives? Why do I say that? Because God had created you just the same way as He created me. He gave me a different language. He gave us 4 colors of people. You guys belong to a different color. That's the only difference. God's colors are for the 4 colors. So those are things that like you all have colors also. What's your favorite color?
Probably green.
Huh?
Probably green.
Yeah, how about you?
Purple.
Yeah. How about you?
I'm going to say yellow.
Okay, you.
Blue.
All right, see. Now those are called your heart color. That comes from your heart. You were born with that color. You were born with that color. God had given you that color. So now today we're trying to coordinate those colors with that way we dress us in one way or another. We give us 4 colors. We use that. So,
Why do you think it's important to speak today to still teach people in Nakoda? Why are you here today?
why do I teach it? Like I said, for them to become a stronger nation. A language is just not only speaking it. The meaning is a lot deeper than that. Like I just gave you the experience there. Example. I mean, about relatives. Well, that's how it goes. That's how deep it goes. Okay? That's the understanding that we have to have with the language. Without language, then you don't have that. You don't have that connection, you know. Like we're all connected. Everything is connected to the Creator God. Everything comes from Him, you know. So we're all together come to one. So like I said, you know, like it's a real good question, but yet it's to understand the language when we can explain it a lot easier through the language. I know that it's kind of hard to try to translate into English, you know. So yeah, no, so that like I said, some of the wording, I know it's slang, you know. A lot of young people come to me and they want me to translate. They want me to translate some wording. They might be using English terms, and some of the English terms we don't have words for them. You know, like say for instance, society. There's no word for society. You know, what else words? Like microwave. Again, there's no word for microwave. Those little games that children play, there's no word for those. You know. That's all modern things. So now we got to make it up. You know, and we haven't yet. You know, we haven't made up these words yet. So what we're trying to do at this point, we're trying to bring all the Nakoda speakers together. Bring them all together, and let's put terms on the microwave. Let's put terms on these little games that they play. The little game that they put in there, you know, it's got to be a word for that, you know. That's what we're going to try to do, you know. But it's getting the speakers together in order to come up with one agreement, you know. So that's something that we're trying to work on right now, you know. With us all within Montana, you know. So, and our speakers are dying down every day. We just lost our fluent speaker during the holidays, Christmas holidays, you know, which was a great loss to us. You know, that was Elder Frida Owatch, CTK. You know, she was a big help to our people. You know, so now she's gone. You know, and somebody's got to replace her. You know, and we haven't found that person yet. You know, so and when women speak and when men speak, they use different terms, different terminology. You know. So now with Frida being gone, now that's the come we got to look around in order to try to find somebody that's gonna fill those shoes. You know, that's gonna be able to teach these young women how to say these things the way the women said them long ago. You know. So there is a difference. You know, that say for instance, women don't use the word wo or the word no or steno. They want to use that word no because that's a man term. But nowadays we take notice that women are using these terms. So we kind of forgive it because maybe this young lady learned through her grandpa. So now she's going to talk like a man. Or vice versa, maybe this young man learned to speak like, you know, from his grandma. So he's going to talk like a woman. So we forgive that, you know.